Some jobs pay you in money, others pay you in nightmares. What I'm about to tell you happened 3 years ago, but I still can't drive past a gas station at night without my hands starting to shake. I worked the night shift at a 24-hour gas station off Highway 9 for about 8 months. It was one of those isolated places, the kind you only stop at because you're running on fumes and the next town is 40 miles away. Most nights were mind-numbingly boring. Truckers would come in for coffee, teenagers would buy energy drinks, and the occasional lost tourist would ask for directions. But there was always something off about that place after 2 a.m. The first thing I noticed was the cameras. We had 6 of them covering every angle of the store and pumps. My manager told me they were installed after a robbery 5 years back. Made sense. But here's the thing. Every single night between 3 and 4 a.m., camera 3 would glitch out. Just that one camera. It covered the back hallway that led to the storage room and employee bathroom. I mentioned it to my manager once. He just got this look on his face and said, "Don't go back there during that hour. Stay at the register." No explanation, just that. I followed his advice for the first few weeks, but curiosity is a dangerous thing. One night in early October, around 3:15, I heard something from that back hallway. It sounded like scratching, slow, deliberate scratching, like fingernails dragging across concrete. The camera was nothing but static, just like always. I told myself it was rats. Had to be rats. This was an old building after all. The scratching continued for about 10 minutes, then stopped. When 4 a.m. hit, the camera came back online like nothing had happened. I checked the footage later, just an hour of static, nothing more. But I swear, for just a fraction of a second when the feed came back, I saw something at the edge of the frame, a shadow that shouldn't have been there. I convinced myself it was a glitch. Things escalated in November. I started noticing that the same car would pull up to pump 4 every night at exactly 2:47 a.m. A black sedan, older model, couldn't tell the make. The windows were tinted so dark that I couldn't see inside. The driver would sit there for exactly 13 minutes, I timed it, then drive away without pumping any gas. I tried to get a plate number, but the angle was wrong. The car always parked just out of the camera's view, almost like whoever was driving knew exactly where our blind spots were. On November 17th, the car came as usual, but this time someone got out. I only saw them for a moment through the window. Tall, wearing what looked like a long coat. They walked around the back of the car, then just stood there, facing the store, facing me. I couldn't see their face. The parking lot lights created this weird silhouette effect. They stood there for 3 minutes without moving. Not swaying, not shifting their weight. Just completely, unnaturally still. Then they got back in the car and drove away. I called my manager the next morning, told him everything. The scratching, the car, the figure. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said something I'll never forget. "Did it wave at you?" I said no. He let out this breath, almost like relief, and said, "Good. If it ever waves at you, you leave. You don't clock out, you don't grab your things, you just leave. Understand?" I didn't understand, but I said yes. The next few weeks were quiet. The car still came, but no one got out. Camera 3 still glitched, but I stayed away from the back hallway. I started thinking maybe my manager was just paranoid. Maybe this was all explainable. Then came December 8th. The car arrived at 2:47, like clockwork. This time, when the figure got out, it walked toward the store. Slow, deliberate steps. I couldn't move. My hand was on the phone, ready to call 911, but something stopped me. The figure walked right up to the front window and pressed its face against the glass. I saw it then, the face, or what should have been a face. It was like looking at a photograph that had been left in water too long. Features were there, eyes, nose, mouth, but they were wrong, blurred, shifting, like they couldn't decide what they wanted to be. And then it smiled, this wide, impossible smile that stretched too far across its face. It raised one hand slowly and began to wave. I ran. I didn't grab my keys, didn't clock out, didn't look back. I sprinted to my car and drove home, going 30 miles over the speed limit the entire way. I called my manager from my apartment, shaking so badly I could barely hold the phone. He just said, "I'll pick up your things, don't come back." I quit that night, never went back, never drove past that station again. I take a different route now, even though it adds 20 minutes to my commute. A few months later, I tried to look up the station online. It's not there. The building exists, I can see it on satellite images, but there's no record of any business operating there. No reviews, no address listing, nothing. My old manager's phone number is disconnected. Sometimes, late at night, I wonder if I imagined the whole thing. If 8 months of night shifts broke something in my brain, but then I remember the wave, that slow, deliberate wave, and I know it was real. Because sometimes, when I'm driving at night, I'll see a black sedan in my rearview mirror. It's always just far enough away that I can't make out the plate. And I drive a little faster. I've never let it catch up. That was the night shift. If you're watching this alone at night, maybe keep the lights on. And if you ever find yourself at a gas station after midnight, pay attention to the cars around you. Some of them might be waiting for you to wave back. Subscribe for more stories from After Dark Tales. Sleep well, if you can.